Let's get into some shake. Hi, folks. Welcome to Apocalyptic. This is Rick hanging out with you for a little while. How you doing? How you feeling? It's a Thursday. Wow, we're almost through the week. And that's helpful, really. I'm one of those people where I actually work part of the weekend. So my weekend, it's kind of screwed up from other people's weekend, but I feel good for you. I'm glad that you get a weekend, that you can do things that you want to do. I remember, because it's sort of set in our blood, right, since we're kids, because we got the weekends off when we're in school, and we're always looking for, those Fridays, thinking about the Fridays. That's kind of like one of those things that we just all have in our blood, that Friday feeling of, oh, it's almost time. It's almost like Christmas, right? And it feels good, and just you got that whole weekend, and then Sunday, and it hits you about Sunday afternoon when you realize it's almost over. So for me, now I get my Sundays off and I get Mondays off. So I'm like a day behind. Right now, one day that might change, but that's what's going on right now. Can you believe we're already in March? So I'm not a big fan of January. I'm not a big fan of February. March, for some reason, I like okay, and then I go back to not liking anything else until October. So March is usually kind of okay, even though March is just usually kind of yucky. I mean, it looks pretty, and there's already tons of pollen on my car. It's like snow. It's like Atlanta snow. That's what pollen is. And but we're getting ready, coming up here in a week or so, a little more than a week and a half, St. Patrick's Day. And I'm going to try to go to the parade this year. I think I went last year. Did I go last year? I'm pretty sure I went last year. Yes, I did. Did I? No, I did not. It's been so long. I can't even remember. I know I wanted to go because it's the first parade they did through COVID, and I believe it rained. For some reason, I'm thinking that. So I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't. I kind of like to go this year, hang out, have some fun, maybe go have some Guinness. I haven't had any Guinness in a while. Need to have some Irish stuff. Some Guinness, some, I don't know, whatever. Fish and chips. That's the most Irish thing that I'll do. Maybe. I don't know. Is that Irish or Scottish? I'll just have mashed potato. Cold cannon. Yeah. I like the cold cannon. Corned beef and hash. Corned beef. I don't do that. Don't have the meat, unfortunately. I used to love corned beef. So I'm kind of looking forward to all that kind of... The pageantry of St. Patrick's Day is fun, even though it's silly. Kind of... I guess you could be offended by it if you wanted to be. There's a lot that's stereotyping Irish people. But it's fun. I'll wear a kilt. I don't... I'll wear green. I don't dress up like a leprechaun. There's always those people that just go over the top. You see them at the Irish bars or the Irish parties. They dye their hair red. They dress like a leprechaun. They go around pinching people, all that kind of stuff. I'm not that much into, but I like St. Patrick's Day stuff. I used to have an annual St. Patrick's Day parade. Party. And that was fun. But I think I'll go to the parade this year. I think I'll have a little bit of celebration. St. Patrick's celebration. I'm not going to try to talk Irish, please. I am Irish. I'm not Irish. I'm American. I have Irish ancestry in my family. Okay, so that'd be my dad's sixth grandmother was last name Farrell. She came from Kilkenny. Is that how you say it? Kilkenny. I think I asked somebody that once from Ireland, and I forgot what they said. I like Kilkenny because it sounds Irish, but I think it's Kilkenny. And the first Baldwin came here after being king of Jerusalem, moved here from Ireland. He was my sixth great grandfather, James Baldwin, not the James Baldwin who wrote books. He was not in my family tree as far as I know, although my dad was James. Anyway, and so I have an Irish ancestry. I'm kind of interested in the Irish people, Irish things. I would love to go see Ireland. I wouldn't mind living in Ireland, I think, for a little while. It'd be kind of fun. I love the Irish brogue. That's a lot of fun. It's kind of an ASMR kind of language or accent. So if you're there and people are talking, I just fall asleep. I listen to them for a while. And then, especially like women, it's almost like a song. They're singing to you. And then after a while, if they whisper, I'm gone. I'm out of it. I don't care if I do. Well, there you go. Let me have a little bit of Guinness and then whisper to me, and then I'll go out. I want to thank to the people who reached out this week. I actually had some reach out. Is that the word? Do I want to say that on my podcast? No, I had some people just kind of reach out and comment on some things, which is great. David did, which is, David reminded me, and I know this. I said this on the podcast a few episodes ago. I was wondering if there were any sounds in space, and I know, and I think I knew it at the time. I was just dreaming. I was just imagining, but there's not, because there's no atmosphere for the sound to carry. Obviously, the sound waves can't happen. But I still question that. I can't, like, if a star blows up, do you just feel it? I mean, wouldn't you there would still be waves in order to feel it. Do you just see it? I mean, those are waves. I don't know. I'm not a physicist. Who do I look like? It was going to be really funny, but I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, never mind. Would you not be able to hear anything if a star blew up? Let's just imagine that you're standing next to a star in space. See how my science goes? See why I'm being criticized? Let's just say that we're standing next to a star in space and it blows up. Do you not hear it at all? You don't hear anything? You don't feel anything? There's got to be some kind of waves. I don't know. All right. But anyway, thanks to David. And then Cynthia reminded me this week about, I had some response on the drag shows, and Cynthia reminded me that she saw a drag show in Washington, D.C., which was based on the Golden Girls. And I saw an advertisement for that here in Atlanta, and I didn't go see it, but I kind of wished I had. Now, that sounds like fun. That's how drag should be. And all drag is fun. If you haven't been to a drag show, go. In fact, go all the time and then protest the fact that these dummies in Tennessee, where I came from, are trying to regulate drag shows. And they're only doing it for political purposes. They're being cruel and mean to people for political purposes. You know, that's exactly what they're doing. But it kind of caused me to think, let me just say really quick, if you want to reach out and talk to me about anything, including what I talk about on this show today, or any of the past shows, or no show, maybe you just have a gripe that I haven't mentioned, something you want to hear, or you just want to comment on anything in your life, it's totally welcome. All you have to do is call our listener line 678-348-0008 and just say whatever you want. I'll put you on the show. Text it, same thing. And just like my other friends did, reach out on Facebook, send me an email, rick@apocalyptic.com. That's how I will get to know you. And everybody else will too, because I'll put you on the show. All right, so what I have here, I was thinking about, this whole stupid thing in Tennessee. Posturing, pretending. These are fake Christians, pretending to be Christians, have nothing to do with Christianity. They don't know Jesus. They act like they do. None of this is action at all that Jesus would do. In fact, they would hate Jesus. If Jesus was in Tennessee, they would re-crucify him. Totally. I live there. I know those people. So anyway, I was thinking about if this dumb, stupid thing passes, it's just going to be one of those dumb laws on the book, right? And so I just happened to come across all of these laws. There's 50 laws here I want to talk to you about. These are laws, stupid laws, just like this stupid thing that's happening in Tennessee. And they probably had basically the same origins in each of these places, where some who knows what happened, but it was overreaction. For instance, in Alabama, you're not allowed to dress as a member of the clergy unless you are a member of the clergy. There's your drag right there. No religious drag. I just don't see how that's even legal. How in America can someone tell you how you can and can't dress? I'm the kind of person, and this is Irish, the Irish part of me maybe, when someone says don't do that, I have to do it. So I would be dressed like a member of the clergy in Alabama. I would just walk around City Hall in my clergy outfit. I would be like, and I'm still considering doing it. I think everyone should dress in drag and walk around the state capitol in Tennessee. Get a big group. Make them arrest all of you. Get 100,000 people in drag. First of all, it would be really fun to do. And second of all, it would just frustrate them and embarrass them. I just say do it. Get a busload of people. If you can get rednecks in camouflage and bullhorns and all of that dumb stuff to protest in Washington, D.C., storm the Capitol building, just tearing it down, breaking if you could get dumb people to do that, surely we could get enough dumb people to dress in drag and go to Tennessee. I would do it. But if you're not going to do that, dress as the clergy in Alabama because it'll be fun. All right. In Alaska, do not operate a motorcycle or loud power tools at night. This is weird because it's night half the time in Alaska. So that means half the year, you're not allowed to use any kind of loud ever because it's always nighttime. But no one can ride their motorcycle ever. It's night during the day. All right. In Arizona, you cannot interfere with a claw machine. You know those machines that pick up, you put in a quarter, 50 cents, $1. I don't even know how much it costs anymore. And this little claw thing comes down. It's supposed to pick up a little stuffed toy, and it always drops it. They're too heavy for the claw thing. But it's illegal to interfere with one of those. And it's probably for that reason, because it's always dropping them. I think it's rigged. I think those things should be illegal. All right. In Arkansas, you're not allowed to blow your horn after 9 p.m. at a sandwich shop. No blowing at the sandwich shop in Arkansas. Why did this happen? Someone, I guarantee you, some legal congressman, state representative, governor, whatever, lived next to a sandwich shop. Someone was out there blowing their horn, and they said, I'm going to make this illegal because I can't stop it, and it's keeping me up at night. In California, you can't eat frogs that have died in frog jumping competitions. You know, I tend to not eat a frog anyway. I don't care what they've been doing. But I guess you put a frog in a jumping competition, they get a little old, they can't jump anymore, and they're like, oh, let's cook them up. Let's do. I mean, it's like racehorses. I don't know. Do they eat racehorses? I have a feeling someone does. They say they put them out to stud, and that's probably true. What about the female racehorses? They're not studs, are they? I guess they have I guess they get studded. Is that the term? You're not allowed to eat racehorses after they run. You're not allowed to eat frogs after they jump in California. In Colorado, you can't use upholstered furniture outside. That's just dumb. Why and how do they know? Again, the way that this law came into being, into existence, it was probably just something that pissed off some lawmaker. And he's like, I'll show you. I'll make a law against it. And that's exactly the way they talk to. In Connecticut, you cannot sell silly string to a miner. And I don't mean a coal miner. There are some silly string miners. A lot of people don't know this. The way silly string actually comes into being is there are miners who go out and mine the silly string, and then they pack it into cans. It's True, I read that on the internet. In Delaware, you can't whisper or use profane language in a place of worship. You can't. Hey, dumbass, give me the damn Bible. You're not allowed to say that in church in Delaware. That's so crazy. In Florida, don't feed the alligators. That is probably based on some intelligence there. Just don't do it. Don't feed them anything. It's better not to. In Georgia, you can't have chickens crossing the road. I don't even know what that means. I've seen chickens cross the road in Georgia. In fact, this weekend I did. So maybe I should have turned in the people who had them at their house. They were great looking chickens too. Roosters, black and blue, and just gorgeous roosters. Big, proud looking roosters. In Hawaii, you cannot post a billboard except in special cases. And I think I understand that. You don't want to mess up the way Hawaii looks. I think there are a lot of cities even that don't want certain kind of billboards that cover up the scenic part of the city. And that makes sense. In Idaho, you can't carry a red or white cane unless you're fully or partially blind. Again, probably based on some intelligence and some rational thinking, but it still seems a little bit intrusive as far as interfering with your rights. I mean, if you want to carry a white and red cane, you should be allowed to do it, in my opinion. In Illinois, though, you can. In Illinois, not Illinois. In Illinois, you cannot dye a baby chick. I guarantee I know how this happened. It's happened at Easter. People are, and that's a good one. I like that law. Don't do it. It's stupid. Don't dye any animal. All right. I just read. What was I reading? Some animal just recently died because people had been dyeing it, which was dumb. In Indiana, don't even think about catching a fish with your bare hands. You know why? It's illegal. I don't know who's doing it, but stop it. You're a criminal. In Iowa, don't pass off fake butter as real butter. You know, I'm tired of people doing that. Don't need that passed. You know, I have enough trouble making decisions without someone trying to tell me that the fake butter is the real butter. In Kansas, don't use playgrounds if you're over 14. Oh, come on. 15, 16, they should use playgrounds. You know what? In my world, in my town where I'm mayor, that I own, everyone can use the playground. So there you go. Kentucky, do not use reptiles in religious services. That would ban most religious services, I think. I know a lot of reptiles actually in religious services, but I'm not going to say anything about it. A snake is not a reptile. It is. A snake is I was thinking amphibian. That's a turtle. Snake is a reptile. You can't use them. Can you use pictures of them? Because, I mean, otherwise Genesis is out. The whole snake and the apple thing, that's gone. You can't have a picture. You can't talk about it. You can't have a representation. Can't do like an actual illustration there, have like a live illustration. You can't do that. Same token, in Louisiana, you may not have reptiles at or near Mardi Gras. I'll be willing to bet that's broken every year. I've seen naked women with snakes around their neck at Mardi Gras. That's breaking a lot of laws there all at once. In Maine, you can't gamble at the airport. I bet you that flight's not going to leave on time. That's probably what happened. They're sitting around making bets on when the flights are going to be leaving. And some Maine guy said, I'm just going to make this illegal. Can't do it. In Maryland, forget about stench bombs. It's illegal to manufacture, sell, or trade a stench bomb. I think we just called them stink bombs when we were kids. Stink bomb is defined as any liquid, gas, or solid substance or matter of any kind which is intended to be thrown, dropped, poured, deposited, or discharged for the purpose of producing a noxious, nauseating, sickening, irritating, or offensive odor similar to this podcast. go to jail. Massachusetts, be careful how you play the national anthem, because if you do it weird, if you take too many liberties, pun intended, you're going to jail. In Michigan, there's no drunkenness allowed on the trains. I bet you anything that's been challenged many times. Minnesota, you cannot be charged with drunkenness. In Minnesota, it's noted in section 340A 902 that no person may be charged with or convicted of the offense of drunkenness or public drunkenness. So there you go. Drink up, Minnesota. Mississippi, don't use profanity, damn it. If you swear in Mississippi, you can be fined up to $100. What? I don't believe it. I mean, I know that one's being abused. It's being violated every day. In Missouri, you can't sell cars on Sundays. Wow, I'm going to go to Missouri and see if that's still being held up. It could be. It's like liquor or something, but I don't understand the reason. Car. Anything else you could sell? You just can't do a car. Montana, you can't drive animals on a railroad track. I don't know why you would want to. That's got to stem from the old days when just farmers walking a horse on the railroad track or pulling cows on a railroad track. And then you can't get them off in time. And then, oh man, tragedy. In Nebraska, you cannot marry if you have an STD. But you can still sleep with each other, apparently. Nevada, steer clear of the Powerball, because Section 24 of the Constitution of the state of Nevada says no lottery may be authorized, nor may lottery tickets be sold by the state and political subdivisions in Nevada, because, they don't want any kind of gambling there. Next, it'll just be attracting all kinds of undesirables. In New Hampshire, beware of the collection of seaweed. You're not allowed to collect seaweed in New Hampshire. I don't know why. New Jersey, you can't sell a car on Sunday. Also, just like Missouri, New Jersey, the same thing. Yeah, if you've ever been to New Jersey, and I know a lot of you know this, and this freaked me out the first time this ever happened. You're not allowed to pump your own gas in New Jersey. So I'm from Tennessee, and I was from Tennessee at the time, and I drive up, and I'm in New Jersey and need gas, get out of my car, and this guy just walks up and grabs the pump from my hand. I'm like, what is going on? I had no idea this was law. I didn't know who the guy was. And I was going to punch him. I thought he was attacking me. I thought he was just grabbed, like I was being attacked getting gas. I didn't realize that. And I think Oregon is the other state. Oregon and New Jersey, you're not allowed to pump your own gas. And I feel like one of those just recently changed the law. But I don't think it's New Jersey. Anyway, New Mexico, you can't dance while wearing a sombrero. That is so stupid. New York, beware that wearing face masks in groups was once banned. So I guess like COVID masks, they had to make an exception for it. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, it was illegal for groups of people to wear masks in public spaces throughout the state of New York. And no doubt, just because they didn't want people covering their identity. I haven't seen statistics, but I guarantee you that it's really caused a problem in crime research, tracking down crime, and just doing all that. You can't see people's identity. It doesn't matter if you even got the cameras, you still can't see. In North Carolina, you cannot steal waste kitchen grease. I've seen people making diesel fuel out of that. Maybe that's why. I don't know. North Dakota, watch your poker playing, because in North Dakota, the legislative branch administrative code on games of chance says licensed organizations can conduct a maximum of 2 for-profit poker events in the fiscal year, and each poker event is limited to a 72-hour period. So if you go over that, you're just gambling. Ohio, arrests cannot be made on Sundays or on July 4th, so drive fast. Oklahoma, I guess you can get a ticket. You just can't get arrested, so Stab your enemies on Sunday. Oklahoma know that tattoos were banned until 2006. Okay, except on cattle. Oregon, you can't leave your car door open. That makes sense. I mean, even for a second. Wonder how long. What if they've timed it? There's like, you got to get out of your car really, really quick. It's like, you had the car door open too long, ma'am. Here you go, is a ticket. In Pennsylvania, you can't fire guns or set off explosives at weddings. Can't do that. Passed that law in Alabama. Rhode Island, you can't steal poultry or receive stolen poultry. Or the poultry that crosses the road in Georgia. You're not allowed. South Carolina, males over 16 can't seduce someone under the promise of marriage. So if you're over the age of 16, sorry, don't seduce anyone under the promise of marriage. When I was 16, why would you want to marry someone? I don't know. Back then, I guess everybody did. South Dakota, you can't use fireworks to protect sunflower crops from the birds because it scares those birdies trying to eat sunflowers seeds. Tennessee, you can't import or possess a skunk. Well, which is weird because my mother from Tennessee said she had a pet skunk when she was little. I don't know what the law was back then. You also can't dress in drag in Tennessee. Texas, you cannot solicit professional employment. You cannot solicit professional employment. So you can't, what does that mean? If you're like a doctor, you can't advertise that you're hiring or an attorney or something? That's weird. Texas, explain yourself. Utah, make sure you know the beer limit. All right. A person may not sell, offer for sale, or furnish beer to the general public in a container that exceeds 2 liters. And B, a person may not purchase or possess beer in a container that exceeds 2 liters. So what can you, I wonder if you can purchase 3 1 liters? I don't know. Utah? Those Mormons. I don't know. They don't want you to have beer, period. I don't think. Vermont, be aware that imitation butter once had to be pink. What's with the butter? That's got to be old stuff. A lot of people worried about the butter. Pink butter in Vermont. In Virginia, you can't hunt near a place of worship on Sunday. Kind of makes sense. In Washington, don't use x-rays as shoe fitting devices. Unless you're a podiatrist. I don't think a podiatrist uses them as a shoe fitting device, do they? Did podiatrists sell shoes? West Virginia, you can't use ferrets as hunting animals. Are they good at that? What, do you want to hunt dragonflies or something? Wisconsin, you must have cheeses of a fairly pleasing flavor. I'm always for that. Wyoming, you must have works of art for display on newly constructed public buildings. Wow, what a law. Can we pass that all? Can that be a federal law? Title 16 of the Wyoming's statutes describes city, county, state, and local powers and intergovernmental cooperation laws for newly constructed public buildings. A new building that uses state funds shall include works of art for public display. Nice. All right. I thought you might like that. Just a few laws out there that are weird and bizarre. And if you did like it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you're alive and you're feeling good about yourself, let me know. If you're not, just find some ways to feel alive and good about yourself. It's not hard. It's really not. It's just sometimes it's just minor things. The other day, my wife was telling me, she was just like, as I get older, I'm finding more joy in small things of life. You should do a podcast about that. And I was like, I already did. I'm finding joys in the small things as well. Sometimes it's not that hard to do. You get so overwhelmed sometimes in life just about all this crap that's going on. It's just like little tiny things. Just remembering things or just watching people interact. I love it. It'll take you out of this. You can watch the news and you just feel like, oh, the world's closing in. But just small things. And I feel bad for the little tiny babies that are just being born. They're going to have to deal with all this. we got to somehow make the world a little better for them. And let's everybody work hard to make the world a little better place for me as I finish up on my term here. I'm not going to be around that much longer. I don't think. I'm going to try. But you never know. Oh, look, there goes a chicken across the road.